I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent, no, I'm just kidding. I'm actually from Deerfield Beach, Florida. I grew up there, raised by my parents, along with my 12 brothers and sisters. In fact, we grew up in the same house that my dad built when my oldest sister was born. He's a pastor and my mother is a homemaker. And growing up with such a large family is totally different than what I believe Sahi grew up in.
So as you know, Terrance grew up in the South. I grew up in the Midwest. I was born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. I am the fourth of 5 children born to Earl Richard Madison Sr. and Joyce Louise Bornell Madison. My dad was actually in the Air Force, and then once he got out of the Air Force, he worked for State Farm, which is where he retired. My mother was a homemaker. Now I am the only girl of 5 children, and somehow I have managed to still not be my parents' favorite daughter.
So how did we meet? My recollection is we met at Florida A&M University. We both were in the gospel choir, and we had rehearsal one night, and everyone was leaving, and I was on stage with the musicians, and there was this young lady standing up in the rehearsal area in the soprano section. And everybody was leaving, but she was not. And she was looking up at the musicians, and I thought she was checking out one of my friends. But afterwards, he left, and she was still there. So I approached her. And my recollection, she asked me about helping her with her calculus. Now, mind you, I'm failing calculus, but I wasn't going to let her know that. So I helped her the best way I could. She quickly figured out that I didn't know calculus, but it really didn't matter. And that's really what happened.
So let me tell you the real story about how we met. It was in the spring of 1991. I was at choir rehearsal for the FAMU Gospel Choir, and being the hardworking, studious person that I was, I did not want to not study, and I didn't want to miss rehearsal. So I came to rehearsal. However, I sat at the top and studied my calculus. Well, during rehearsal, there was a very handsome, talented young man up on stage skillfully playing the keyboard that caught my attention. I was supposed to be looking at my calculus, but I was distracted and I was looking at him. So apparently during that time, I caught his eye, because after rehearsal was over, the Terrance Andrew Ford came walking up the stairs to me and introduced himself. And I, being the person that I was, told him I was having such a hard time with my calculus, and would he ever be ever so kind to help me study? And of course he couldn't resist, and he had to say yes, and the rest is history.